My name is a.geeslin, and today I am presenting Module 3 assignment for Dr. Brennan's Community Health Nursing 2 course. Objectives today describe the Head Start program, defines determinants of health, determines related determinants, and explains the determinants. The Head Start Early Education Program is a low-income based program. Most enrolled families are of low socioeconomic status. Throughout the 2021 school year, there has been a significant increase in hand, foot, and mouth, RSV, and COVID-19 among students and staff. Classrooms have been forced to intermittently close due to the amount of illness. When the classrooms close, parents and classroom staff are economically burdened. Staff are out of work, and many families must miss work or pay others to care for their children. Determinants of health are the conditions that affect the large variance of health incomes and risks where families and their children learn, play, work, and live. Power, money, and resources are unfair and unequally distributed, causing significant health inequities in health status. Many of the low-income families enrolled in Head Start program have numerous determinants of health which distribute to the increase of illness within the classrooms. The first determinant is health services. Lack of healthcare accessibility and availability is common in low-income families. Many do not have reliable transportation, cannot afford health services, not to mention the community has limited resources as it is. Families are forced to seek emergency care, placing them at more financial distress. Some families are not always sure when they should keep their children at home or when they are unable to miss work to stay home with their child, so they send their child to school anyway. Economic factors significantly influence health within the classrooms. Low economic families frequently suffer from insufficient consumption of nutritious food for healthy development. Many live in overcrowded, unsanitary government housing complexes. Healthcare is often too expensive to maintain a good health status. Unfortunately, with economic problems comes with economic stress that may be expressed as irritability towards the students. Employment options are limited in low economic class families. Low levels of education and literacy are common. Many occupations involving long hours, hard labor, and do not offer a lot of pay. Many families are overworked at home and at work and take their stress to their children and their coworkers, causing increased conflicts. Many working families feel guilty for not spending enough time with their family due to their jobs causing them to miss major milestones and events. The combination of it all can cause significant emotional distress among families. Many social factors play a role in classroom health. Many children are raised by blended, single-parent, or extended families. Some children do not have a permanent address as they bounce between friends and families, while others are in foster care and are bounced from family to family. Living arrangements are often overcrowded and unsanitary. Families typically cannot afford to further their education, cannot stop working to attend school, and some haven't even been able to finish high school or obtain their GED. Physical environmental factors include factors within the home and the neighborhoods which families reside in. Within the homes is often chaos, safety hazards, lack of sanitation, and limited space. Within their environments, there are no means of public transportation, insufficient availability of healthcare services, high population density, and unsanitary neighborhoods with many safety hazards. Parents and families often experience mental health or substance abuse problems. Children under the age of 4 are most prevalent to experience maltreatment and abuse. Communication skills can make or break a family. An inappropriate tone can intimidate and mislead children. Children pick up on the fact that their parents are not engaged or actively listening when they are trying to express or tell them something. Families must learn how to read their children and watch for signs of illness, distress, or unmet needs. Family dynamics also takes a psychological toll on families. Decision makers and leaders within the family influence the mental health. Parents should respect their children just as much as their children should respect their parents. Bonding styles are another psychological factor. Families who bond too closely can smother their children. However, no tightness can make their children feel neglected. A healthy relationship are those that are supportive and close with healthy boundaries. Healthy coping in families includes being resilient and hardy, adapting to stress and changes as they maintain a sense of control. The last determinant, biological factors, can affect the health and well-being of children. When there are disabled or chronically ill family members within the house, it takes the focus away from the children, often making them feel left out. Subtle or obvious signs that a child is ill or in distress may be missed. Families who have not completed or developed their own growth in youth or adulthood have a hard time focusing and aiding their children's developmental progress. Younger children within the home are most susceptible to illness as they have not built their immune system yet. Low-income neighborhoods are highly encouraged to vaccinate themselves and their families. In conclusion, all determinants of health influence the health of a child in some way. Either families are distracted, uneducated, or too unstable to handle their children's symptoms of illness or distress, or they simply do not know or cannot access health care. These factors also decrease the health status within the home. Stress causes weakened immune systems and increased prevalence of illnesses.